just want you to know that your hair and your lips and your skin, melanin, it's all beautiful.
Hey guys, hope you guys are well. It's been a while. That's because life is just so hectic. But welcome to Scarred&BEAUTIFul, episode 3. And with me today I've got Lebogang Mohapi, known as
Billy.
And she'll be just telling us about her story and her beautiful scar. And please enjoy the show.
You are so beautiful to me. I hope you see.
You were burnt by boiling water when you were very young, 18 months, correct?
Eight months. Yeah.
8 months old. And Lebu's just going to tell us about her scar.
Yeah.
So what happened to you?
My mother told me this story when I was like in grade 2. One. So basically they were from church. There was like a conference, and then they were so tired. You know, they were sitting in the dining room, and like they just didn't notice that I had crawled out of the room, and then I went to the kitchen and I like gonna go like get Lele nearly on the ground. There wasn't like counter or anything, and then apparently I pulled the cord and the water spilled on me, and I just sat there, didn't cry. And then they only came like a few minutes after, when they picked me up and took me to the hospital. That's when I started crying. So yeah, and then I just have a scar on my feet going up to like my knee, just all around there.
So from the time you were 8 months, when did you start or consciously were aware as a female that you have a scar?
I think that was like early primary. That's when I was like, but my mom also didn't try to hide it. Like she always like spoke about it when I was a kid, that you have a scar, and I didn't. And to me, when I saw my feet, I thought that every person had feet like mine, because I was like, okay, that's like normal to me. But then I think the one time where I really noticed it and like it bothered me, it was grade 4.
And why do you think it bothered you in grade 4? What did you see? What did you realize about yourself where you were like your feet are not like any other person? How did you feel about that?
It was like I just felt so bad. Like I did not like my feet. Like I did not feel comfortable wearing any sandals. We would have like fun days at school, and I'd have to like go through the rides with like my socks because I wasn't comfortable with people seeing it. You know, I think it was just like I said, I thought that my feet were normal. I mean, you go to grade 4, we're doing sports, everybody has their socks off, and now everybody's looking at your feet and they're like, what happened? Oh my god, like why are your feet like this? You know, and it's like, okay, just like, okay, I don't know. I never answered them. I just.
So what about the questions bothered you, or what do you remember the type of questions you'd be asked?
Mainly what happened, is it a skin condition? Why are your feet like this? You know, I think mainly it was the reactions, because people couldn't like mask their face. It was so unfiltered. It was like the minute they saw it, like they made a face, and it was like, what happened? I was like, yeah.
So then you became aware that you have a scar, and then you from grade 4, and then you were growing into a young adult, a young lady. And then how did you feel about your scar then? Because now you're aware consciously, and you have all these questions, people posing you, and all these emotions. How did you then carry on up until the age that you are now? Right now you're how old?
18.
So you're 18. So tell me then, so in grade 4 you are how old?
I think I was like 12 years.
Okay. And then what happened then when you were 15?
15. Ooh, that was also like very hard. It was like, actually I was miserable at that point in my life, because in high school, that's it. I think I was in high school then. Yeah, I was in grade 9, and like I like high school people are very mean. Like I just have to say,
What
like,
words did they? What words
like
did
I
they say
remember
to you?
this one girl, we were going to PE and I was wearing like a kilot, it's like a school short, and she said that like she made a joke about how my calf looks like bride meat, and I could have died. Like the world could have swallowed me at that point because I was like, oh my god. Like, and I was just
And
crying.
because she said that to you in front of everyone?
Yeah, in front of the entire class, like 40 people were there, and it was like a joke. And I cried.
Right there or by
Right
yourself?
there. I cried right there. And she came a day later and she's like, because my friends knew the condition and they told her after school, and she came the following day and she said she was sorry about that. She did not know that it was that deep.
So tell me about the emotions. I'm interested in knowing when that happened. How did you feel? Because you're saying you felt like you could die, but I want you to be able to articulate the emotions that you went through at that time.
Like anger, disgust. Like I just didn't love me because of that. It was like, I hate me. Like why am I like this? Like it always felt like that. But at that point, it just like it was like times 10, like even like 100 times, because I was like, I just didn't love me at that point. Like I was really insecure about a lot of things about me, my skin color, like my body weight, everything. And then like just having that, I felt like that was unnecessary. Like why did that have to happen to me? Because like I could like just like be like every teenager and just be insecure about my weight and like other stuff. But for me, it was my weight, my complexion, and my scar. And it was like I didn't feel like life was being fair to me at that point.
So when that happened, were you able to go home and talk to your family, or who did you talk to about your scar in particular, and the emotions that you felt having a scar? I mean, I can imagine at 12, 15 years old, even 16 or 18. Now you're 18. Who do you talk to when you look at yourself, and do you love yourself now?
I used to talk to my mom and my granny. They were both very in my life, so they always wanted to know what happened, and I just tell them, and they tried to like encourage me. As to loving me right now, if I'm being totally honest, I don't know. It's like one day you're okay with it, one day you're not. You know, you're okay with it until people mention it, or you always well, for me right now, I always feel the need to like explain it, or when somebody sees it, I feel the need to be like, this is what happened, or like even like they didn't even ask, but I'll be the one to like bring it up because I don't.
You don't want people to look.
Yes, so I'll just like, it's just that. So I don't know. It's like in like it's like I don't know yet.
What? Okay, so you're saying you don't know if you love yourself. Is it just because of the scar, or you feel like there's other reasons where you look at yourself? Or what about that you saying you don't know makes you not know whether you love yourself or not?
It's a good question. If I really don't know. It's like when you know at school when the teacher explains something and you know you don't understand, but you don't know what you don't understand, and you can't necessarily ask your teacher because you're like, I don't understand, but I don't know what I don't understand. So I feel like for me it might be my scars, but it also might be something deeper than that. Yeah.
Okay, so I know that your mom is late, and I'm sorry that you went through that. Do you feel like she was someone that you could only talk to about your scar, or do you feel like after her passing there's still people that you can talk to about your scar, but more specifically how you feel about you not knowing whether you love yourself or not?
I think there's people who care about me and they love me, but I don't think I can be as open and as like more vulnerable as I would with my mom. Because with my mom was like my bestie, like she knew everything. So there's definitely, but like my aunt is like chilled, you know. I can talk to her about some really deep things, and she'll like be a cool vibey aunt. But like, yeah, so I think right now it's just my aunt. She's like that one, but I still feel like I can't be as vulnerable with her, but I'm vulnerable to a certain extent.
Are you scared of being vulnerable?
Yeah, it's like you think you're weak, you don't want to cry because it's like, why are you crying? Like, I cry most of the time, and then right after crying, I'm like, but like honestly, these people dying, why are you crying over this?
So I think it's important not to compare why you cry, and you need to know that it's okay to cry, and crying sometimes it's you're relieving, letting go of certain things that you're holding on to, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you being vulnerable. There's strength in vulnerability, and keeping all the emotions in leads to a lot of hypertension, which is not healthy. And I know it can be very scary being vulnerable. I mean, I go to my therapist and she tells me, yeah, you need to be vulnerable, and you won't be able to let go of certain things if you're not being able to be vulnerable. So be powerful by being vulnerable, and don't be afraid, because once you're open, no one can ever hold that against you. But so people that are 18 years old, what advice would you give them about having a scar?
In this generation, confidence is not something that somebody can see is fake or real. So what I've learned from my experiences is that when you're confident, they can't necessarily see if it's fake or real. So just fake it till you make it. Like one day you won't be faking it. One day you'll really feel like good under your skin, you know, because it happens to me sometimes where I'm like, okay, I'm faking it here, and the day after that I'm like, okay, I actually feel good about this. So the advice that I would give to like young people is like, just fake it till you make it. Like nobody knows, only you. So if you give them that power to like shrink in a room, then they know that okay, that's a weakness to you, or like that's how you are. So just fake it till you make it, and it works for me. So
thank you guys for tuning in into episode 3 with Lebogang Mohapi, and thank you so much for being vulnerable. I know it wasn't easy. Thank you for your time. And what you mean by being faking it until you make it is what?
Is that basically by fake it till you make it, I don't mean that you shouldn't be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, but by fake it till you make it, what I'm basically saying is don't let people define you. In that room at that moment when you're surrounded by a lot of people, be that girl you believe you are.
Thank you, and we can find you on
Instagram, _Mohapi, TikTok, Tselopele07.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Girl, you are so beautiful to me. I hope you see